All right, new unit, Unit 3, fractions. What I want you to do is in your table of contents, highlight that we are starting a whole new unit. So Unit 3, fractions. And find the page that is available, a fresh page, and put comparing fractions. And if you are English on Monday, you're going to put 1026. And on Tuesday, 1027. Noticed how I got a fresh Post-it note that says Unit 3 fractions, so I can easily go to that. If you have a Post-it note at home, do so. Otherwise, we can do it when we get back to when you come to English. I will be checking your notebook, so make sure that you have this written in there. In this unit, you should know or will relearn these different vocabulary and phrases: fractions, numerator, denominator, equivalent fraction, simplest form, like fractions, mixed number, proper fraction, and improper fraction. All right, when you look at a fraction, the top number is the numerator. That's on top. I always think of it as north. It's on top, and north is always on top on a compass rose. And denominator is on the bottom, or it's down. The denominator tells me how many pieces it's made up of, and the top tells me how many are used. So out of 5 pieces, 2 are used, 2/5. So get out your notebook, and on the next page that was available, put fractions, and then put numerator over denominator. The numerator is the top, the denominator is the bottom. Or the numerator is the pieces out of. And before, I think I said this, numerator is on the top, north, denominator, down. Okay, in your notebook, put equivalent fractions, and then put the example, 1/2. It equals the same as 2/4. 2/4 is the same as 3/6. And that is also the same as 4/8. So put a star, multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the same number. So to get 1/2, I multiplied by 2. To get 4, 2. To get 2. I multiplied 2 times 3 to get 6. So 1 times 3 to get 6. Another example is 1/2. Whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. If I want to multiply it by 10, 2 times 10 is 20, 1 times 10 is 10. So 1/2 is the same as 10/20. So make sure this is in your notebook. So for 3/8, 3 is the numerator, 8 is the denominator. Out of 8 pieces, 3 are used. So there's a total of 8 pieces. So that's 8 pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 3 of them are colored in. You don't always have to start like a clock. You could do these 3. That's fine. So that is 3/8. Now we're going to go on to comparing fractions. Comparing, trying to see if they're equal, if one's bigger than the other or not. I have 2/5 and 3/8. I can't really determine which one is bigger right now because they have different denominators. So I'm going to give you a couple methods on how to compare fractions. So if we were going to compare 2/5 and 3/8, we would again put them into 5 pieces and color in 2, put them into 8 pieces and color in 3. In the fraction 2/5, 2 is the numerator and 5 is the denominator. Now, if we compare them using strips, we see that 2/5 is a little bigger than 3/8. Another way to compare the fractions, if we didn't want to draw this out, notice this is very close. If this one didn't show specifically which one was bigger, we could always change the fractions to like fractions and compare them. Like fractions meaning having the same denominator. And this is where it comes in handy knowing your lowest common multiples. So if we're going to compare 5 and 8, what is the lowest common multiple? The lowest common multiple is 40. So I multiplied 5 times 8 and got 40. So whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. 8 times 2 is 16. What did I multiply 8 to get 40? By 5. So you're going to have to do the top. 3 times 5 equals 15. Wow, look at how close they are. 16/40 and 15/40. Which one would you rather have? 16 pieces of bubble gum or 15? Most of you would want 16. So 2/5 is a little bigger. So it's really important to find like fractions, like denominators, so that you can compare and see which number is higher on the numerator. I want to show that again just a little clearer. So I am comparing 2/5 and 3/8. Now we found out that the common denominator was 40. So we know that we need to figure out what did I multiply 5 by to get 40? You should have said 8. What did I multiply? Whatever you do to the bottom, you do to the top. 2 times 8 is 16. So 2/5 is the same as 16/40. Now let's look at 3/8. What did I multiply 8 to get 40? Should have said 5. Whatever you do to the bottom, you do to the top. 3 times 5 equals 15. 3/8 is the same as 15/40. Now we can compare them because the denominators are the same. Now I want you to go into your tasks and write down 8/10 and 3/8. Write down A and see if you can find the bigger fraction. Even if you find the bigger fraction, I want you to find common denominators. And then do B, 3/4 and 6/7. Again, find common denominators. Make sure to pause the video and complete this. And when you have your answers, you can come back. We need to find the lowest common multiple for 10 and 8. So 10, I have 10, 20, 30, 40. Oh, I know that 8 goes into 40 evenly. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40. Here's the lowest common multiple. So now I'm going to make 8/10 equals how many 40ths? And 3/8 equal how many 40ths? Whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do the top. So let's take 8/10. What did I multiply 8 to get 40? 4. So now I need to multiply 8 times 4, 32. What did I do? Multiply 8 times what equals 40? Times 5. 3 times 5 is 15. Now we can compare them because they have the same denominator. 32/40 and 50/40. You probably saw that 8/10 was going to be bigger. Okay, now let's take a look at 3/4 and 6/7. So what is the common denominator with 4 and 7? Say it with me. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. And you should think, oh, I know 7 times 4 equals 28. So let's just make sure. 7, 14, 21. Do we have any common ones yet? Not yet. Next one, 28. This is the common denominator. So now I'm going to take 3/4 and change it to 28ths. What did I multiply 4 by to get 28? 7. So now you have to multiply the numerator by 7, which is going to be 21. Okay, so 21 28ths. Now we have to do 6/7. 6/7 equals how many 28ths? What did I multiply 7 by? 4. 6 times 4 equals 24. Now we can compare 21 28ths to 24 28ths. So 21 28ths and 24 28ths. Which one's bigger, 21 or 24? 24. So 6/7 is greater than 3/4. All right, let's try again. 1/9 and 2/5. What is the, I'll do the common denominators up here, 9 and 5. And I believe I have said to start with the bigger number. So 9, 18, 27, 36. I know that a multiple of 5 ends in 0 or 5. Haven't reached it yet. Oh, but here we go, 45. So that is going to be the common denominator. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Oh, 45, sorry. 45 is the common denominator. So now 1/9 equals how many 45ths? What did I multiply to get 45? 5. So 1 times 5 equals 5. So 5 45ths. Now let's change 2/5 to 45ths. What did I multiply by? 9. So whatever you do to the top, you do to the bottom. So now we have 18 45ths. So which one is bigger? 18 45ths is going to be bigger. Did I do that right? That doesn't look right, but I think it is. All right, let's go down over to this one. What is the lowest common multiple? If I multiplied 6 times 4, it's 24, but I know there's a smaller one. So 6 and 4, 6, 12. Oh, I know 4 goes into 12, so 4, 8, 12 is the common multiple. So now 5, 6 equals how many 12ths? What did I multiply? By 2. Do the same to the top. Now I have 10 12ths. Change 1/4 to 12ths. I multiply by 3, multiply by 3. Now compare 10 12ths to 3 12ths. 10 12ths is going to be bigger, or 5 6 is going to be bigger. All right, last one that you're going to do in your notebooks. What is the common denominator? 45. So 5/9 equals 45. What did I multiply by 5? 5 times 5 is 25. 25 45ths. 4/5 equals how many 45ths? I multiplied it by 9, multiplied the 4 times 9, 36. Now read the directions. It says circle the smaller fraction. So which one is less, 25 or 36? Yes, 25. All right, let's go on to the next one. I know that 40 is a multiple, but the smaller one, the lowest common denominator, is 20. So 7/10 equals how many 20ths? Multiplied by 2, multiplied by 2, 14 20ths. Now 3/4 equal how many 20ths? 4 times 5 equals 20, so 3 times 5 equals 15. Ooh, really close. Which one's bigger, 14 or smaller, 14 or 15? Yes, 14, so that is the smaller one. Hopefully you understand how to find common denominators. All right, for your final note in your notebook, put comparing fractions. When comparing fractions, denominators must be the same. Find the lowest common multiple, and then you can compare the fractions. So 2/3 and 5/6, I know that 6 is the lowest common multiple, so I don't have to change anything with this, but I do have to change 2/3 to a different fraction. And I know that 6 is going to be the lowest common denominator. What did I multiply? By 2. So whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. So 4/6. Now I can compare the two fractions. So 4/6 and 5/6. 5/6 is going to be bigger. For homework, you are going to complete these two. You are going to find the bigger fraction, but you have to find common denominators, just like what we have been doing. So you only have 2 problems. So put that in your notebook, and I will check it when you come to class.